Hello YouTube, my name is McFlippers and welcome to the U.T.F series, episode 15 here in the lovely land of Drooks. I'm super excited to get into the video as always, so without further ado, let's go. So as I start this episode, you may notice something a bit perplexing. I'm in the overworld, whereas I should have been in the end, like I was the last episode. And that leaves me with the mild bit of explaining and showing that I have to do. So, it started last week when I was supposed to offload my episode 15, and my hard drive broke, so I was incapable of doing that. Now, the hard drive wasn't really the big problem. I got that replaced. The big problem came when I started recording episode 15, trying to overhaul and get it finished so that I could offload it without any difficulties, but then realized that all of the audio was completely scrapped in that recording due to some form of malfunction, setting error, microphone problem, or missing driver that I had from reinstalling Windows, and the vast majority of the video was completely destroyed, so I couldn't upload that. And that's why the video wasn't there last week. With the audio destroyed, I had no other choice but to wait a week and try to figure out all of the settings and try to re-optimize and make everything work. You may still notice a couple of frame rate drops in a few framey areas, and the fact that my render distance has been turned way, way, way down because I'm having some trouble getting the settings the way I had them before to make my computer optimized enough to record, but nevertheless I got it just functional enough to record for you, so if there's any frame rate drops, I apologize. I blame the hard drive, and now it's time to move on with the episode. So, moving on with the episode, I wanted to explain some of the things that I did while not realizing that all of the audio had exploded. The first thing is that I named the dog Walden. Now, I named him Walden because he was sitting in this corner over here, and the only thing he's done for the past episode or two since I got him is stare into this cliffside. He stared at a wall, so I decided to name him Walden. And now he's Walden the dog. He's our loyal protector. In the end, we were able to collect plenty of goodies, none of which are really all that great. I think one of these shovels, well, that's my shovel, but one of these has, yep, that one has mending. Some of these have, well, that's my bow. Some of these that aren't tools that I personally enchanted have some okay enchantments. Like this has mending on it, but it's an iron chest plate, so that's more of like a backup. Frostwalker on these boots, so I guess Frostwalker and fire protection. That seems like an odd couple, but I suppose if it's protecting you from fire, it would be producing some form of frost. We also got a ton of shulker boxes, so that's a plus as well. And this elytra, which we can now use to fly. Of course, I don't have any rockets left, so that is the basic plan for this episode, is I wanted to build some form of mob grinder so that I could get some gunpowder, and we could begin the process of making a firework factory. The Firework Factory of Drooks. You know, I like that name. I think that's what we're going to name it. So it's time to get straight into that. So I'm going to take the elytra off because the elytra is pretty useless right now. And hopefully we will get a mending book for this soon, because unbreaking alone will not keep it alive forever. So now, I think what I need to do is go resource mining. Because, as far as I recall, I don't have enough cobblestone to build this exact project. And see, this is one of the frame rate drops that I was talking about. It's getting very framey right now, and I'm not exactly positive why. I've turned down as much as the settings as I can recall, but the framiness keeps coming nevertheless. The frames prevail. I don't have enough cobblestone. No, that's just what I thought. So I'm going to go on a bit of an expedition into the caves, go resource collecting, and I'd like to build the basic exterior out of cobblestone so that I could just get the foundation of the farm in place, and then we can decorate it up and make it look nice later. That's actually going to be one of the big problems, is actually making it look nice. But I'm going to go mining, and I'll see you when I'm finished. So while it's still on my mind, I'd like to make some bad puns about being in a mine. But on a more serious note, while it's still on my mind, I would like to revisit the end at some point, maybe in the next episode or so, as soon as possible, really, because in all reality, one elytra is not going to survive us that long. Even with mending and unbreaking on it, I'll still probably end up dying and losing it somewhere. So having an extra, having some backups of things is never a bad thing in this game. So if I could, I'd like to go back to the end as soon as possible and get some backups. And that way I can give you guys a taste of my experience in the end, as well as get those backups. So it kind of reconciles for all of my failure to make a video. So I'm back from my little bit of a mining expedition, and I stopped getting cobblestone. Not really stopped, but sort of switched focus more to just strip mining rather than only getting cobblestone. And I found these shulker boxes very helpful in carrying... Oh, that was the wrong direction. I found the shulker boxes very helpful in carrying all this stuff back. At some point I'd like to label these. So we've got plenty of cobblestone, all the cobblestone we could ever need. Those are just junk right there, but this stuff is all the good stuff we got. So we've got some diamonds, plenty of coal, redstone, gold, iron, obsidian, lapis, and basically the same thing in this one. I didn't find the bow while I was mining. Surprisingly enough, that's still my bow that I made. I keep putting that in the treasure chest. I should probably, get my bow out and use it. Anyway, I've had an idea for the mob farm. Maybe I shouldn't build it in Drooks. Perhaps I should build it somewhere off in the woods and dress it up as some form of fallen tower. Maybe like a piece of an old ruined civilization, or I don't know, maybe because it's going to be spawning monsters, maybe it's some old necromancer's tower. I'm not sure how well I could pull that off, but I think that's a good plan. So I'm going to go try and find some place in the woods, and I can get straight to building that. So I'm here in my testing world again, and this is what I intend to build. Now obviously, when I actually build it, this is not the actual scale it's going to be built at. I'm going to be taking these platforms and stacking them upon each other, multiple layers high, to get the most efficiency as I can. As much efficiency as I can. This is a pretty basic design. Simply flip a lever, and water spews out, pushing all the mobs into the hole, where they will then be destroyed, and I can take all of their loot. Flip the lever again, the water turns off, and mobs can now spawn. And the idea with this is obviously that I will be putting a hopper clock or something right here so that I don't have to flip a lever every couple of seconds. And hopefully this will be a more or less efficient farm that I can use for days and days to come. Not days. Forever to come, because hopefully I'll only need to build one of these. But now it's time to head back into my Drooks world, I guess? I can't really call it the Drooks world. The Let's Play world, and we're going to start building this. So the first thing I'd like to do is dig the hole. So about a quarter way down mining in this hole, I realized that it would make a much better time lapse than it would just me flipping from no hole to massive gaping hole in the ground. So I decided to turn on the replay mod and start making a time lapse out of it. And I think it came out pretty good. It's just me mining down in various different strange patterns to keep it interesting as I went down so that I wouldn't get bored and decide to quit. I hope you all enjoyed it. So I'm back from digging that hole. I hope you all enjoyed the little bit of a time lapse I made out of it. This goes all the way down to level 30 now, which is where I want to start building the platforms moving up, and under that is going to be our little station where we can put all of the storage rooms and whatnot. So now it's basically just time to start putting in the platforms, which is going to be a pretty long process considering how deep I made this hole. So I'm going to get to doing that, and I will see you all when I'm done. So despite my best efforts, the mob farm is not working the way it was intended to. It won't spawn mobs. I've lit up the caves all around it. I've done everything I could possibly think of or research to make it work. Obviously, I'm going to need to put some more research into it, but for this episode, I'm not exactly going to have enough time for that because, once again, I have realized I'm having audio problems, and the past 3 or 4 clips that I've shot all had a weird audio glitch in them, and everything I said was either painful screechiness in your ears or just complete choppy junk that you couldn't understand. So, unfortunately, I'm cutting the episode short here to figure out some technical difficulties and also maybe what I could do to fix the farm up. And in the next episode, hopefully, I will have no technical difficulties and can finish the farm. And also, maybe, if we have time, go back to the end and find some more elytras. But with that being said, I'd like to thank you all for making it to the very end of episode 15 in the U.T.F series. I had a ton of fun making it, so I hope you all enjoyed as much as I did. And remember, if you did like the video, to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to see more of my future content when it comes out. The channel and I would greatly appreciate it. And until the next video, keep swimming with the squids, and I will see you then.